Hey y'all, we are going to show you what we do for our spring bed prep. First thing is my wife's going to fill up some of these barrels full of compost, and then we'll show you some of the other things we do in the beds. First off, I'd just like to say thank you to Randy and Judy from Thurber Trading Company for letting us borrow their Broadfork. Ours is ordered and it's on the way, but hasn't got here yet, so we need to get our plants in the ground, and they were nice enough to let us borrow it. Now on to the Broadfork. The reason for the Broadfork. So last year when we grew, we just put down the cardboard and composted over that as a mulch. The ground underneath was a little bit too compacted and it's got a lot of clay in it, and so a lot of the plants didn't do as well as they could have. So this year we're going to Broadfork the whole thing, which creates crevices for the previous year's compost to fall down into, for water to find a path down so it doesn't get overly wet. It also gives room for the roots to get down in there. A lot of the roots on the ones that we had from last year went down till there was no more compost, hit the clay and just spread out into the aisles. So we're hoping to avoid that this year with the Broadfork, and I'll show you how I do that right now. So the next step after we go over this with the Broadfork is the tilther. Now the reason I use the tilther is just to level it out. I don't really need to do this, but I like it nice and level for my next step, and we'll show you what that is in a second. So the next thing that I'm going to do is rake this bed level so that when we put the paper down on top of it, we got a nice clean run. The next thing that we got to do is put down this roll of paper. Last year we used cardboard. It went in the walkways, it got everywhere, it was a mess. So we went on Uline and we found this paper that's 30 inches, exactly the size of our beds. And then we made a framework. So after we roll this down, we'll put that framework over the top. Then we dump our compost in, rake it level, and then the bed's done. It's ready to go. So let's show you how we do that. Now that we've got the paper down, I gotta go get some compost to fill this thing up. Now we're gonna level these beds out, and then we'll move this framework and the paper down to the end of the bed and do that section, and then we'll have this bed complete. So now we're pretty much finished with this bed. We'll prep the next bed, take this framework off, and do the same thing over again. We got 18 more beds, and then we're ready to plant. So let's go see what's in the greenhouse. So we're in the greenhouse now. It's 104 degrees out, and we are done forking for the day, let me tell you. Hopefully we can get it finished tomorrow. These plants obviously are exploding because it's so hot, and they need to get in the ground right away. So hopefully we'll get done forking tomorrow, and then we'll start getting these in the ground. And then I do have some more seedlings in the seed room that I'll show you that aren't quite so massive. Here we are in the seed room. As you can see, it's not as hot in here, but we do have a lot of seedlings. They're ready to go out into the greenhouse. The ones in the greenhouse need to go out in the field. So we'll see you out there in the field next week.